So over the weekend, there was a story, and indeed we did touch on it inside of the news and the papers this morning, about the unfortunate instance of the lady who was shot in her car in Lekki by an unnamed policeman. As yet, there are pictures of the policeman out about, but still the case is being unraveled by the police itself. I wanted to come from this angle and say, well, while our hearts go out to the family, that is such an unfortunate thing. For such a festive season, nobody should go through that.
It happened on Christmas
It happened
Day.
on
Yeah,
the occasion.
His name hasn't released.
His name hasn't released, hasn't it?
Vandy, yeah.
Yes, Vandy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on something regarding our interaction with people, whether they're armed people, whether they're vigilante, all of them. I've been in situations that are very unpleasant, and I know how things can really go bad. In this instance aside, now I'm not talking about the instance that we're talking that we raised, but I know how things can escalate, and I also want to say that sometimes we can de-escalate certain situations, and we should try our best.
Yes.
Whether you're in your right, whether you're wrong, please try not to escalate certain issues, especially if you meet vigilantes on the way. They're the worst. Please just be very, very careful out there. It's that season where everybody's either looking for something or going someplace, and I'm just hoping that we all be careful while we're out there. It's a sad story, and when you hear it, it really, really hurts to know that the kids were there when all of that happened.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
She was in the car with her sister, her husband, her sister's 4 kids, and her daughter. And I think it's just really sad because, yes, of course, try to de-escalate situations. But in this case,
There was
no interaction, right? So they say they were driving and then they just hear stop, and next day, gunshot. So I'm thinking, was it... was it an intentional or accidental discharge? Because I mean, in that kind of situation, that's what it could literally mean, and it's just really unfortunate that it could happen. I think what even took the story further home for me is the fact that Bolanle also posted that she was the one that helped her in acquiring her house, her property. Right, so she helped her in acquiring her property and was really great all through the whole process and cheered her on and took her step to step in. So it's no doubt that she was really great at what she did and all that. She was a lawyer.
Yeah.
And I'm liking the fact also that the Nigerian Bar Association, they're also stepping in and also trying to see what can be done from their end into making sure that justice
one thing they can do better
served.
is they must make this situation, they must be very expedient at whatever findings or investigations that they're carrying out, and people should see results.
Yes,
There's
of
too many
course.
of these
That's the
things
thing.
going
Yes,
on, and then
yes.
we're not seeing exactly what the results
is
are, or
happening,
who the culprits are, the punishment that they face, and all of that. I think that much example needs to be made of these kinds of people, these elements inside of our police force.
I saw, there's a thread I saw, and this is Scotty David Udain, where he mentioned something. It says, let me just rush through it very fast. So I'm going to mention 2 things about the Nigerian police force that I guarantee most people don't know, and quite a lot. A police recruit, he's talking about the people. Let me paraphrase as fast as possible. There are 2 completely different ways the Nigerian police force recruits, and it says that recruits come from literally the worst parts of society, according to him. Now, confraternities and all that. They pass through a short program at the police college where they learn to and all of that. And then there's another set who go to the NPA in Kano, which is entering there is as hard as entering the NDA. And they're saying that, look, forget merit. Somebody has to recommend you. Or, you know how hard it is to get to the NDA? It's about the same thing for the NPA, which is in Kano. And those ones go through a 5-year course that will give you a degree. And by the time you come out, you go to the level of ASP.
Do they end up on the streets?
No, those ones are those ones. And so he was trying to talk about the mindset of the people
that are
want
on
to
the
see on the
streets.
streets.
Yes.
And so, like you mentioned, but from this case, from all that we've heard, it wasn't a case of the way
There was no confrontation.
There was no confrontation.
You know what I'm saying? Accidental discharge. Could that be it?
That's the question. We don't know. I hope that we find out. We know. I really
But we
want
have traffic cameras now.
Exactly.
I
So I
hope they
wonder
were able
why
to get
the
something.
situation isn't
Mike.
why the situation
We do.
isn't
At least I know that junction.
Mostly
They can
were
be
put
very,
up there
very.
because they want to check your numbers if you're faulting with your vehicle paper.
But then again, it should do things like this as well.
They
So help
only
us
are triggered
know
by a
exact-
number plate. Unfortunately.
I know
they're
that
only
place.
triggered
So
by
that place, I've
make
had
any
them stop me, and they can be quite violent. when
I
you
know,
get to
they are very
you
notorious
get
in
past
that Ajah
that red
axis.
place. Yeah, and then 2 weeks before now, there was also the story about a man from that station. When you get, and what happens is this: the light has a way of turning off. The distance between where you're supposed to stop and the light is long. So immediately the light goes, you see them rush out. So they know.
They take advantage of it.
And they
Yes,
take
of course.
advantage of that.
Yes.
So, and then they're telling you to stop when you've already passed. So I can understand the situation because I use that place quite well.
But even if that is the situation, was a gunfire the next thing?
And
And even if you're trying to create or aggravate or agitate people, maybe just to put them in that position of being afraid, shouldn't it be pointed up? Should it be pointed directly at the car?
I don't know. The questions you ask make it even more painful. You know,
we gotta go, man.